Welcome back, everybody. My name is Tucker, this is Sporting Logically, and today I wanted to look at 3 players that damaged their reputation in the first round of this year's playoffs. Each of these guys have already seen their teams bounce from the postseason with a first round loss, and their respective performances in those series has raised some serious questions around the league about their abilities moving forward. This isn't to say that these are necessarily my opinions on them now as players, but I'm just pointing out how the last few weeks have impacted their reputation with many fans. Let's get started. First up, we have a fairly obvious one, Damian Lillard. I have already talked about Dame and the Trailblazers' struggles in the first round against the Pelicans on the channel previously, but not specifically about how it could impact him moving forward. To this point in his career, Lillard has built a reputation as a lethal scorer in the pick and roll with an incredible ability to shoot from distance off the dribble. He created the idea of Dame time, meaning that when the game got close late, he was one of the best clutch performers in the league, and someone with that reputation is supposed to excel in the playoffs. As we all know, that didn't go well for him this year. The Pelicans confused him all series with an aggressive pick and roll coverage strategy that he admitted not having seen before in his career. And as a result, he was just never able to get anything going consistently. His shooting numbers for the series were dreadful, and the Blazers were eliminated with a shocking first round sweep. This has raised some serious questions about whether or not Lillard is the kind of player you can build a team around, and by extension, whether or not him and CJ McCollum are a good fit in the backcourt anymore for Portland. Both of their defensive shortcomings were on full display, as Drew Holiday and Rajon Rondo punished the Blazers all series long. Prior to this postseason, Dame was an explosive offensive player that always seemed to come up big when his team needed him. But now many people see him as a defensive liability that puts up empty numbers on an average team. Next up, we have Carmelo Anthony. You could argue that Melo's rep had already taken a beating around the league as he struggled to find his place as the newest member of the Thunder this season. There was optimism from some fans that playing as a part of OKC's new Big Three would allow him to transform into Team USA Melo, an alter ego where he shares the ball and uses his size to become a floor spacer and mismatch at the 4 spot. Instead, especially in the postseason, it seemed like Melo honestly believed he would be able to come to the Thunder and call for his usual elbow and post-up isolations that have been so heavily featured throughout his career. At times, he was visibly upset with the substitution patterns employed by Billy Donovan in their series against the Jazz, even though the team often played better without him on the floor. It was an extremely awkward feeling 6-game stretch for Anthony, rarely taking quality shots, missing many of those that he got, and getting torched in ball screen defense. Maybe it was unfair of us as fans to expect him to transform his game so drastically in a way that we'd never seen him do outside of international competition. But in this age of super teams, someone has to be the third wheel of the Big Three. Prior to the season, that seemed to be a role that he would be pretty qualified for. But now he has the reputation of a player with the mindset of a superstar and the skill set of a bad third wheel. Only time will tell if he can turn that around next season. Finishing out the list, we have Hassan Whiteside. Similar to Melo, Whiteside's value around the league was already dropping during the regular season as he struggled with injuries and generally didn't look to be a player worthy of the large contract he recently signed. But even then, his size and rim protection seemed to be positives for a scrappy and expensive Miami Heat team. And then the playoffs rolled around. The Whiteside experience from the Heat's first round series against the Sixers is not something I would wish on any player. Philly ran away with Game 1 after exposing Whiteside's inability to guard outside of the paint with smaller lineups that he was unable to use his size to punish on the offensive end. And every game after that, it seemed like head coach Erik Spoelstra was just giving the big man minutes to prevent a full-on explosion from him on the bench. Because he wasn't impacting the game with his size and shot blocking for most of the series, he was essentially a very expensive negative to the team whenever he was on the floor. On top of that, he just seemed mentally checked out once things started to go south, leading to many awkward exchanges with Spoelstra. Though Whiteside's comments about playing time near the end of the regular season certainly didn't help his value across the league, his performance in the playoffs was arguably even more damaging. Now there are the inevitable reports that the Heat are looking for potential trade partners for their big man. And although he does still hold some value and potential as a rim protector, I wouldn't expect much of a market for him. And that is the end of the list. Thank you all for watching. If you liked the video, then leaving a like rating is a great way to let me know. And if you'd like to see more videos just like this, then be sure to subscribe to Sporting Logically for more videos every single week. Thanks again, and I will see you all next time.